Yes, hello there. Sorry, you look like you're looking down on me. I'm going to move you up a tiny bit. But the reason that is because I wanted to show you what's behind me in a minute. But basically, I'm going to do my usual, my afternoon walk. My brother's at work, so I'm going to go out on my own today. I'm going to do something a bit different. I normally head down to the seafront, especially on a day like today. The sun is shining, you can see the reflection on my glasses. But I'm going to go shopping. Yes, I'm going to go for a little bit of a hunt. I don't know if this is going to be successful. But essentially, the other week, my brother and my mum found one of these. Now, this is a Splash Keep the Fun Flowing, and it looks very similar to something I've reviewed many times, and that is Lush body sprays. Yes, Lush body sprays. I think they're amazing. I think they're really good, and the fact that there's some companies that, these shops that offer like discount bargain prices are actually cloning them, copying them, says to the other people also like Lush body sprays. Now, this one here is called Keep the Fun Flowing, and this is a clone essentially of one that they have called Let the Good Times Roll, and it's basically a buttery popcorn type scent. Now, the one I've just held up, Sakura, the one behind it, Zesty, I don't think these have been cloned or anything like that, but I have seen online, and I haven't been able to find them actually on this website from a shop called B&M or Savers, Caramelized Dates, which is obviously a clone of Sticky Dates, probably the best Lush fragrance. So what I'm basically going to do today, I'm going to try and head to B&M. I haven't been in B&M for years, but I'm going to go and see if they do have any of these body sprays. Savers was the one where we got this one from. B&M, I'm going to go and have a little look and just see if I can find any more of these fragrances. Again, they also do, and I'll show you this one here, giant shower gels, and we're talking a cost of this £2.50. The Lush body spray, £25 and up. So if we can find some more of them, I'm going to buy them today. Going to treat my brother as well if I get one. And yeah, in the meantime, obviously we've got to walk down. I'm going to tell you why. If you don't know Lush body sprays, I'm going to give you the reason why I think you should buy them as well. And if we can find these clones, I'll let you know as well how good those ones are. So yeah, what I'm going to do, get myself ready, and yeah, I'll see you outside. So I've praised Lush body sprays in so many videos, but I thought I'd sort of condense it all together into one. So if you haven't seen my reviews before, you know exactly why I'm recommending them. But the first thing is they are super unique. Now, when I say unique, there's nothing too daring in these. They always have, they're kind of gourmand fragrances on the whole, or super freshy ones. So you tend to have like lemon in them, you tend to have bergamot. They're very popular in their fresh fragrances, a bit of lime. But then when you go into their sort of winter ones, it's nothing too daring again. There's some almond in a lot of their fragrances, caramel, vanilla, but they're unique. There's nothing that smells, in my opinion, like Sticky Dates. Sticky Dates is absolutely amazing. It smells really nice. And again, it could be used in the same situation as a Ferragamo, Uomo, Tobacco Vanille, but they're not clones. They are not clones. They're unique in their own right. And to be honest with you, when you get like clothing brands like Next and Zara, they tend to almost just clone these fragrances because they know that's going to get the most sales. Lush, they've done it their own way. They've kind of just released them in their own unique style, and they smell really good. Now, the next positive with them as well is you get them in 200ml bottle sizes. So I tend to find the most sort of general size for things tends to be 100ml. But the Lush body sprays, they are 200ml, and they spray like a fragrance. So if you sort of think, oh well, body sprays, they tend to be larger bottle sizes. Yes, they do. But they don't normally give you like a wet mist. They tend to be like a pressurized sort of container. Whereas these ones are literally like a fragrance. They spray such a huge atomizer as well. But that's fine. I think you go through 100ml very quickly in these. Some in their gift sets, they are 100ml and they don't last very long. But 200ml, to be honest with you, as a spray that almost works like a fragrance, it will last more than long enough. It will last like 100ml standard fragrance like a Dior Sauvage. It's absolutely fine, and I quite like that extra strength, that extra mist that you get from the atomizer, because essentially it gives you a little bit more performance, which we'll get onto next in its positives. So yes, the third positive, obviously the bigger the mist, you tend to get a bit more fragrance come out, and of course that leads to stronger performance on the whole. But there's no two ways about it. The reason these perform really well, and I've had so many compliments, is because they are super strong. Rose Jam, probably the strongest one. Sticky Dates is absolutely nuclear really for a winter type scent. And even some of their freshies, I've had compliments on Salty, I've had compliments on Sakura, which is like this nice orange blossom fragrance. They all honestly have generated a lot of attention, even after 4, 5, 6 hours. And I can tell you the story. I've been in like halls again in school assemblies, and where I've been in that hall before the assembly started, I remember once they actually had to stop the assembly because everyone was like, what's this really nice smell? It almost smelled like there was cooking going on in there. And it was just my fragrance. I think it was Let the Good Times Roll. It might have been Sticky Dates as well. And yeah, they know where you've been. Basically, if you put these on and you walk from room to room, people can follow you. I've had people say, oh, I could smell you down the stairs, that's how I knew you were here. All these sorts of things, because they do have nuclear performance. And yes, again, the size of the spray, the size of the mist that comes out definitely helps that, but I think ultimately more than anything it's the concentration of the oils that stands out the most. They are long lasting, and if you're someone who likes that, like I do, I like those beach smoke smells, I don't think you can look any further than Lush body sprays. So the next positive is they make you stand out. Now honestly, I had someone the other day, I worked with a gentleman called Russell, really nice guy, and he said to me, I never mentioned this before, but you always smell really nice. What is it that you wear? And of course I wear different scents all the time. He didn't particularly know that, and it took me a couple of seconds to work out which one I was wearing that day, but I was wearing the Lush Karma body spray. Unfortunately, I think that one's been discontinued, but I said, oh, it's that one, and he was really surprised to know it was something from Lush. I think Lush kind of has this reputation of being a women's shop, but honestly, go in the shops, try the testers and see what you think as well. A lot of scents, to be honest, now are becoming more unisex. Vanilla caramel, all these fresh ones, you know, bergamot lemon, they're used in men's and women's scents in equal measure these days. So go in there, try them. If you're a gentleman who's unsure, yeah, you can go in there, nobody ever judges you. One in Oxford Street is absolutely amazing if you're in London, and see if there's one you like. I am pretty certain there'll be one that you like there as well, that you won't feel uncomfortable wearing. I think on the whole, yes, they probably lean slightly feminine, but there are some really good ones, and I've had so many good comments on it. And honestly, the shock people give when you tell them, oh, it's actually from Lush, is unbelievable. It's another talking point, and it's a good conversation starter. Now I'm going to contradict myself here as well, because I'm not a massive fan of the design of the Lush body spray bottles. They look like something you'd use as a detergent cleaner to sort of clean surface tops. However, the one thing that is good with them is they are plastic first of all. Look, I like a glass bottle, but if you're putting them in bags, they can be really heavy. Some of them are super chunky, and of course if you drop them, they're more likely to break, they're more likely to dent like wooden flooring, things like that. And yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that situation at all. And what I like with these is obviously being plastic, you can actually take them back. Lush have a bit of a sustainability push. If you have 5 of these bottles, take them back to a Lush shop, you get like a free face mask. So I think they're normally about £10 they cost you normally. So if you're bringing those back, literally just rather than chucking them in the bin, you'll get a free fresh face mask, and they're really good. I've tried some of the face masks. There's one called Don't Look at Me, which is really nice. It smells a little bit like a stir fry. It's got a bit of a rice smell, but it's so effective. It's great for your skin, and yeah, just for bringing back some old bottles, I'll take that. So yeah, I'm not too worried about the design. If I'm getting free stuff in return, can't complain. We are nearly at B&M now, so I'm going to do one final positive of Lush body sprays, and this is probably a little bit subjective, this one, but I think if you're someone who's into fragrances, you wouldn't be too harsh or too hard on yourself if you paid £40 for these. That's the top price for these. The cheapest price of them is about £22. I think they're good value for money. I really do. They use, and if you look on the back of Lush, they always tell you what ingredients are natural and which ones are just safe synthetics. And 90% of their ingredients, 90% of the oils used in these body sprays aren't natural ingredients, and you can tell that. You know, when you think about it, an average sort of designer fragrance, you're probably paying £60 to £80. You're paying a little bit more anyway. And I think it's like brands like Packer Rabanne. I know you're paying for the name a little bit here as well, but they do smell a bit synthetic, like your 1 million Jim Victors. You don't get that with Lush. They do not smell on the whole synthetic. They smell very natural, and that's because they are natural. And I think the fact they do use, again, natural products, I've noticed with my skin, they don't cause that sort of chemical sting either. They tend to be pretty, you know, pretty soft on skin, pretty, you know, they don't sort of cause any flare up from my own experience of them. And I think high quality scents for £40, that isn't bad. 200ml, they last just as long as a general perfume, a general eau de toilette. And I'll be honest with you, I've had more compliments with them, I've had just as good longevity, and I never get bored of the scents. They make you stand out, and for £40 at the top price there, that's not bad, is it? Let's be honest, there's a cost of living crisis at the minute, and everything's going up in price. But Lush body sprays, they've stayed at good prices. Sticky Dates, which was one of their absolute iconic scents, sold out straight away. They've never really increased the price on that one. Despite its popularity, they've kept the price pretty fair for everyone, and I think that speaks volumes of what sort of company Lush are. So yeah, I think they're good value for money. We are in B&M, and I have found one that looks like a Lush body spray. It's called Milky Way. I think we should give it a smell. There we are. We are just leaving B&M. I've got my 2 body sprays. They're both the same. They're Milky Bar. I've got them for me and one for my brother as well. So I'm sure he'll be happy with that when he gets back from work later. But yeah, I'll spray it when I get home and I'll give you a little review on what I think of it, initial impressions. We are back. Yes, we are finally back. Now, just one thing to say, obviously, when I went in B&M and got these sprays, a lot of them, and you get these with the Lush ones as well, they have like this little nozzly bit on the side there, which you have to push, essentially, so you can spray the fragrance. If it's in the middle, it doesn't spray, which made it quite useful because actually 90% of them that were there obviously had been previously sprayed, you could tell. And thankfully I found 2 that weren't. And the reason I know that they haven't been sprayed is, you know, sometimes when you get a new atomizer, you've almost got to push the button 3 or 4 times before it comes out. With these ones, that was the case. And yeah, it's time to give it a spray. I did spray a little bit earlier as I was walking, but yeah, it's very nice. So I'm going to read the bit of info and then I'll sort of tell you a little bit more about what it smells like. But it says, a cosmic cream. I should have put my normal glasses on here, shouldn't I? A cosmic cream swirl sparked with delicious lemon brightness. It drifts into a silky vanilla trail that feels sweet, dreamy, and otherworldly. And that is definitely what you get. You certainly get this kind of lemon citrus start, not too sharp. It's kind of more of a soft lemon. And now it's really gone into this nice vanilla smell. It's kind of musky more than anything though. What I'm getting mainly from this is clean laundry. A bubble bath, that's probably the thing I would say. It's like a bubble bath, but it's very watered down. Not much performance on it at all. But I'm very glad to have it. It cost me £3.49. Can't go wrong. So I'm going to do a full review on this and hopefully you'll join me for that one tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you later.